Hey, loves. It's me, ABSD, live from in my closet. I stubbed my toe on the way into my closet tonight. Ouch. And I tried to get in here so fast for some reason that then it was really hard to set up. And that caused me to stub my toe. But I'm not in any rush. It also just made me realize how appreciative I am of having a space where I can just set up a chair and not have to fold it up every time I'm done, and having that in our next house. Y'all, we have not heard any news about our house, and I think I need to surrender it. That's my word of the year this year is surrender. So let's fucking do it right now. God, angels, universe, I surrender. I surrender the tight hold that I have on our house right now. I want to be in the next season of my life so badly. And I know that that season is coming, and it's coming very quickly. I surrender the impatience that I have had around it. And Alyssa, I love you. I love you and forgive you for suffocating this piece of your journey so that it can't come to you naturally. Being present in this moment and realizing that all of these big things that have come up around your house, you have not sat and worried in. You have so much desire to get to the next stage that you're struggling to be present now. I surrender. I surrender it. I surrender it all. I surrender it all. Alyssa, I love you. I am proud of you, and I forgive you for holding on so tightly. I let it go. I let it go, and I give it to God, angels, and the universe. And I surrender. I surrender it all. I let go. I know this house has magic. I know this house is our house. It is ours. We have been sitting and waiting because we know that it is right. If the red flags that came up in the process already didn't scare us away, then a little waiting isn't going to either. Living in our apartment for more days, I am grateful to have this apartment, even though I itch so badly to get out of it. I forgive myself for not appreciating what I have now. I forgive myself. I do appreciate what I have now. I appreciate this apartment, this space that it has been, this space that has helped us grow and pushed us to new levels of ourselves because we now know more of what we want. I am grateful for finding my dream house at this moment in my life. I'm grateful that I constantly get to up-level and buy this house and make it my own and a place to grow, and that one day I will grow out of it and grow into something that fits us better. But I am so grateful for the opportunity to have a place to grow, to make our own, to start a family in, to enjoy, to deck out as us, to paint the walls, to make it eclectic, to make it us. This apartment, I'm grateful for it. It's the first place that we ever lived that was ours. We lived together before, but that house didn't start out as ours. It was a place that my partner moved into. And having a place that is ours. This apartment did its job, and I'm grateful for that. I surrender. I surrender it all. I let go, knowing that whatever is of the highest good is coming to me, and waiting for some insurance pushed a ball that forced us to close later, which meant that we won't have to double pay any month, which meant that we would be moving into a house where some of those big red flags are fixed. And I'm grateful. I surrender it all. That was really fucking awesome. I enjoyed that. I have never done something like that to that extent before, and it felt fucking awesome to sit in space with myself and surrender. Give it away. Let it go, and just know that whatever is meant to be will be, and whatever is of the highest good is coming for me. Because I do my best and God does the rest. It's a powerful, powerful place to be. So it has officially been a week since we tested negative from COVID. And it was about Thursday this week that I started to feel like my actual real self again. I was really disconnected from myself and from my body, and finding my way back was a lot of hard work. But it's work I knew how to do. But I also don't want that to be an occurrence every time that I travel. I want to be able to still do my daily routine and my spiritual practices, because it's a daily practice and I was not doing it daily. And so I lost myself because I was not doing a piece of what makes me feel good and makes me feel like me, because I still don't have a routine. I still have not created a routine for myself in my spiritual practice. And so when I'm traveling, because it's not a routine, it's not happening. Like when you brush your teeth, even when you're traveling, you are in the routine of brushing your teeth. Maybe you don't brush them as much while you travel because you're having so much fun and out late and pass out because you're drunk. But it's part of a routine. I don't know where that example came from. That was a little... That's a personal example. I used to, if I was too drunk or too tired, I wouldn't brush my teeth at night and then brush them in the morning. I used to not brush my teeth in the morning at all because this girl I used to do Girl Scouts with in like 4th or 5th grade told me that she didn't, because she brushed them at night and she didn't do anything with her mouth between night and morning. So like she didn't eat anything. So there was nothing to clean. So I was like, okay, I'm going to listen to you, 10-year-old, rather than my dentist. But I do now brush my teeth twice a day. I also floss once a day. I love flossing. So I titled this podcast, When I Feel Good, I Potcast. I am feeling good right now. This weekend has just been really, really good. Like I was saying, it's been a week since I had COVID, and it took really about till Thursday for me to feel like myself. And then Friday we got to see some of our friends, which was awesome, and we spent the night, and it was just easy and fun, and we hadn't seen them in almost a month, and so I'd missed them a lot, so it was nice to get to hang out. And then Saturday, I was helping with a kitchen clean, organize, and label project where we went through all the cabinets and just reorganized and placed things in new places so that it would be and function in a way that worked better for them. And that shit brings me so much joy. It brings me so much joy to do things like that because not only is it me showing my love language of acts of service, that's how I love others, is by acts of service. And but it also is a time where I get to spend with the person that I'm helping, and I love that because my brain loves organizing and it loves cleaning. I'm so good and fast at cleaning. And do I love cleaning my own space? Not always, but I do love cleaning other people's spaces because it's just a act of service that you can do for someone that is kind of priceless. Having a clean kitchen feels good. It feels good. Having things back where they belong. Like having your house like that to me feels good. But sometimes you need help to get it so that it makes sense and is functional for you. So I got to do that project on Saturday, and that was a blast. And then I came home and I was tired because I had been on my feet and just working hard. And so the rest of the day, I hung out and watched Manifest. I had seen season 1 of Manifest, but I started watching it when I had COVID, and it's just really good. I'm on season 3 now and excited to continue making my way through it. When I watch TV shows, I like to just like consecutively watch them. And once I finish a show, I normally will take a break from TV and then pick another show later because it becomes a binge situation for me. And it makes me not want to do anything else. And then Sunday, today, which is today, I my partner and I went to meet up with my cousin who's in town from Alaska, and my other cousin who's in Denver got to join also. Um, and we met up at her bed and breakfast, and it was so freaking adorable in Golden, Colorado, and was right off of the main strip of shops and the downtown area of Golden. And so we met there, and then we walked to lunch all together and had lunch. And one of her friends also flew down. Someone I think she had never met before this trip, but they are friends now, and flew down and came, is here for the concerts also, and came to lunch with us. And it was so cool to meet someone new today. She was an awesome human, and I love just getting to meet people who I've never met before and see how, like, little snips of how they live their life. It's so fun for me. Um, and we just had an awesome lunch and an awesome time, like spending time together. And the cousin that flew in from Alaska, I have not gotten to hang out with her as an adult. I was in, it was 2018, the last time that I spent time with her. And so I've just changed and I'm a different human 6 years, 5 years later, 5 years later. Wow. 5 years ago. That is wild. Um, so it was really cool to get to spend some time with her. And I enjoyed it a lot. It came up as I was showing them pictures of my house. One of the rooms we're going to turn into a podcasting space. It will also probably be like a dual function space, but I can use it for podcasting, which I am excited about, in our basement in our new house. And um, the friend asked what my podcast was about. And so I got to talk about the Inner Dialogue podcast. Just it naturally came up in conversation, which was really cool. And as she asked me more questions, it came out, I was like, yeah, this is a journey that I'm starting because I plan to run to be president in 2032. And I got to talk about that and what I hope for and bits and pieces of why, and saying, this has been put on my heart 2 years ago, and I didn't know what it was at first. And then I was nudged that it's president, and now it's been a journey ever since. And becoming me is part of that journey. And that's why this podcast exists. And it was just a really cool conversation to have with a stranger. And that hasn't happened yet. Me having a podcast has just come up naturally in space with someone who doesn't know me. It was awesome. And as we were saying goodbye, she was like, "Mrs. President," as I walked away, because I think it's so cool for people to hear someone say that. And the way that I say it as I mean it, because I do. And I want people to know that it's a serious, genuine thing a goal that I have to become president in 2032. I just know it. And I have so much confidence in it because it's part of my journey and it's what I'm meant to do to help our country and this world and the future generations to come. That's so fucking cool. So it was really fun to talk about that today. And it was just fun to get to be in space with people I don't spend time with, but super enjoyed. It was really, really nice. Really nice. And I just appreciate that. I appreciate people reaching out when they're in town. And I love when it works out that we have time to get together. I just think that's so cool. And then after that, after lunch, I came home and I worked for a little bit, which was nice to get some time in there. And then we went to the grocery store. Before we went to Florida, going to the grocery store, I would always write a list and like shop from the list, plan out my dinners and shop from the list. It just made it so that grocery shopping was very clear cut. I'm getting the things on the list and nothing else. And since we've gotten back from Florida, Nick has gone grocery shopping with me the last 2 weeks, the last 2 trips since we've been back. And today we got in the grocery store and it almost was like I had forgotten how to grocery shop because we didn't have any idea what we were going to have for dinner this week. And I just didn't even know where to start. I like going grocery shopping with Nick, but I still think I'm missing the intentional piece of it, which I need. Nick is fun to shop with because he just buys things that feel good sometimes instead of just what we need. Like when I go by myself, I'm only buying the things that I need. But when he comes with me, he's buying things that he wants also, which is fun because then we just have more fun things in our house to try and eat during the week. And after coming home from the grocery store, Nick and I hung out, and that was so fun. And then we made dinner and had a nice dinner together. And, I was just feeling really good. Really good. Being back in my own life and my own body and my own skin feels good. And I'm extremely grateful for that. I love who I am and I love the person I am becoming each and every day. I am so proud of me. Now that's an interesting story. When we were in Florida, we were having dinner at my partner's aunt's house to see his whole family. And I love doing these dinners because it's awesome to get to be all together and see each other and have a reason to gather. And just the kids get to play in the pool and have so much fun. And I'm so grateful for his aunt holding space for us like that and hosting. It's so nice of them. So we're standing there and my partner's grandparents get there. And one of his grandparents hugged Nick and told him how proud he was of him. And then he hugged me and he said, "And I'm not proud of you." And as we unfolded from the hug, I said, "That's okay. I'm proud of me." And it was this moment where I talked about it later, and I've talked about it since to process it for myself, but where when I shared it later with my partner, he said, "Oh, well, that's him trying to be funny." And to me, that's not funny. It's not a joke. And if that is your version of funny, that sucks. To me, that's a boundary I have. And yeah, you're allowed to tell me you're not proud of me. But if that's considered a joke, that's bullshit to me. If you're going to say shit like that, you mean it. That's how I take it. We don't say mean things to people and then go, oh, I was just kidding. No, because you just said something mean and you hurt the person. And if you think that that's a joke, you're still hurting somebody with your humor. And that's not okay. And we do it all the time. There's difference between like shooting the shit with your friends and just being mean and then calling it a joke. There's a big difference between that. And maybe that's something we need to learn, but there's a difference. Did I take offense to his comment? No, I didn't. Because I've done a lot of work around myself and I've gotten to who I am. But it also, those kinds of comments are not things that I experience living here in Colorado. I had comments, I also, like, it's just not. I had people make comments about my tattoos as jokes as well because they don't like tattoos. And they're allowed to not like tattoos. That's okay. But saying something mean and then laughing about it and claiming it's a joke is not a joke. If you have concern about something, talk to the person directly. If you have concern about my tattoos and why I'm doing them or have questions about it, ask me. I want people in my life to be able to ask me questions and to know that I'm going to give them the honest answer, even if it's not what they want to hear, even if it doesn't match with their opinion. It's my opinion, and I'm allowed to have it. It's not just an opinion for me, but it's fact. It's my human experience. A person talking about their personal experience is fact to that person. But then we have opinions about other people's human experiences, which we're allowed to. We're allowed to have our own opinion. That's okay. But let people live their goddamn lives. If you don't like something somebody does and it's not harming themselves, harming others, or harming our society, let them live their goddamn life. It is amazing to me. I'm very tuned in to with people saying sorry. And it happens all the time. People apologize for things that they don't need to apologize for. But we're so conditioned to just use the term sorry. It's a placeholder sometimes, even when nothing has happened for that person to apologize. It was so fun today to just talk about becoming president and this journey. It was so fun. I got the question if I was planning to be in politics before I was in the White House as president. And I have thought about this. And as of right now, because I've actually got this question before from someone else, but as of right now, the answer to that is no. I don't feel that it's necessary for me on my journey of what's meant to be. I essentially plan to be a write-in. If something changes outside of that, fine. But as of now, I plan to be a write-in, which means that I will not be actively participating in politics beforehand. I don't want anything to do with the bullshit. And that was my answer, essentially. If something changes, fine. That totally is possible. But right now, my nudge says no. And the reason why is I don't want to be in a position where I can't enact the change that I want to change. And I want to be intentional about my platform and why I'm doing this and the openness and honesty and authenticity behind it. And I don't want to get caught up in current politics at all, because I am running on a platform acknowledging the fact that one of my goals is to change the way that politics are, the way that they be. Because politics, the way that that politics run our country, it's just not healthy long term. It's creating a lot more hate than love and fear. It's creating so much fear. And I don't want people to fear the government. I don't want people to fear that the government is not doing what's best for the people. And that's what's happening now, is that the government is not always doing what's best for the people. It's doing what's best for the government because they're trying to get elected again. And that's backwards. The person who should be leading this country should do it, and because they want to help the greatest amount of people, because they want to give a voice to the people, because they are just a person. I am just a human. I'm just a regular human being who probably shits more than the average person. I love hanging out naked in my house because I can. And sweets is my favorite food group. I'm just a regular human. And that's the beauty, is that we all are. We're all just unique in our own human way. And when we acknowledge the fact that we're all just human and we give people the space to just be human, there's so much more grace. Earlier, I was talking with Nick, and it came up, the idea that around the fact that money gives people a further privilege than people who do not have money. It gives them better opportunities. It gives them space to know and network more in different ways. It gives them just a step forward on the football field. They're starting at the 30 or 40 yard line rather than the field goal. Is that right? The touchdown zone. Fuck, it's not football season. That knowledge is not in my brain right now. But they also have other trades that come with that too, statistically, of what that means about the household that you grow up in. That's how rich kids are always portrayed in movies or in TV shows, is that, yeah, they have lots of money, but their parents aren't around, which is not the case for everyone, but is the case for some. What a world we would live in if everyone just had fucking equal opportunity. If people had the things that they needed, if people were able to get the things that they want, if people could spend their time doing the things that they love with the people that they love, if people fucking knew that they were loved and knew that they were enough and knew that they were worthy. I was having a conversation with a friend, and it was in a group of people, and what I had said in return was, yeah, you did your best and your best is good enough. And their response was, that's not what I've heard my entire life. That's not what I know. It's funny that you say that. But we as people, all we have to do is just do our best, and our best is motherfucking good enough. That's all you have to do. Do your best. I do my best, and God does the rest. This has been a lot of fun tonight. I haven't done a podcast since I've been home, and I think this was a good way to get back into it. I still have yet to post any new content since I've been home. I would love to post something this week. I even have it ready. I just need to actually post it. And I'm inching my way there. I feel it. And I'm grateful. I'm going to go watch some Manifest and eat some ice cream. Have a fucking awesome day. I love you. Bye. Thanks for sharing this space with me in the Inner Dialogue podcast.